Welcome to GitBook. In this video, we'll walk through how to set up adaptive content after authenticating with Auth0. Adaptive content allows you to turn your docs into a dynamic, personalized experience that changes based on who's visiting your site. Whether it's a technical user, a potential customer, or an enterprise team, you can tailor the docs they see based on their role, plan, and more. With just a bit of configuration, you can show onboarding guides to new users, hide entry-level content for advanced ones, or serve specific enterprise-level guides to your users that are logged in. For this tutorial, we'll imagine we have two different user types that might visit our site, an enterprise user and a pro plan user. Our enterprise users have access to many more features, which includes a specific section in our documentation they'll need to access. They also have a dedicated enterprise support team we want them to easily be able to contact. Let's jump in and see how to set it up. To start, we'll need to make sure our site is set up behind authenticated access. Authenticated access is a way to protect your docs behind your company's OAuth provider. GitBook supports integrations for Azure, AWS Cognito, Okta, and more. The setup is similar for all of these providers, however, the rest of this tutorial will focus on setting up Auth0. Make sure you head to our docs to find specific guides for setting up your OAuth provider. Before we can start setting up adaptive content for our site, we'll need to configure the integration for Auth0. Start by heading to your site and heading to the Integrations panel. From here, we'll install the Auth0 integration. Once it's installed in our site, we'll need to add a few bits of configuration from Auth0. Let's start by heading to our Auth0 dashboard. From here, we'll start by creating a new app and setting it up for Node.js and Express. After we have the initial setup done for our app, we'll head to our app's settings. Here we'll find some of the configuration we'll need to copy over to our GitBook integration. Copy the domain, client ID, and client secret and add them to the configuration in GitBook. At the bottom of our integrations configuration, you'll also see a callback URL. Copy this and head back to your Auth0 app. Under Application URIs, paste this value into the Allowed Callback URLs section. After this, make sure you click Save. Head back to GitBook, scroll down, and make sure the toggle is turned on for Including Claims and JWT Token. From here, click Save. Next, we'll head to our site's Settings in GitBook. Head to the Audience tab and change the audience settings to Authenticated Access. From the drop-down that appears, choose Auth0. At this point, our site should be protected behind an Auth0 sign-in. If your site isn't published already, click Publish in the upper right corner. You can test to make sure the sign-in is working by visiting the link. Now that we have authenticated access set up, it's time to set up adaptive content so we can read information from the user visiting and personalize our content from there. To start, we'll need to pass in claims from Auth0 as a user logs in. Start by heading back to our Auth0 dashboard and head to Library under the Actions section in the sidebar. Actions allow us to do extra things as a user logs in. In our case, we'll be attaching extra user information that we'll be able to read in GitBook. Start by creating a new action from scratch. We'll give it a name and make sure login/post-login is selected for the trigger, then hit Create. After we create our action, a code editor will appear allowing us to customize the experience as a user logs in. In our case, we'll be adding something called Custom Claims, which allows you to attach more user data to the user logging in, like the plan they're on or features they have access to. To keep things simple, we'll be using a very simple action that attaches a field called isEnterprise that equals true to users who log in through Auth0. The code for that looks like this. Actions can be as complex or simple as you need them to be. This is where you'd be able to add logic to only give this claim to a specific set of users. In this demo, we're going to give this claim to all of our logged-in users to keep things simple. Head to the Auth0 docs on Actions and Custom Claims to learn more. Make sure to save your action and click Deploy. After our action is created, we'll need to add it to a trigger. Under the same Actions section in the sidebar, head to the Triggers section. From here, click into the Post-Login trigger. Here we'll be able to add the custom action we've just created. Drag the action you've just created and add it to the middle of the post-login workflow. After this, make sure to hit Apply. At this point, our action should be working. It will add extra claims to our user once they log in through Auth0 to access your docs. Now it's time to personalize your docs through adaptive content. Let's head back to GitBook. If you're not still in your site's settings, head back to the Settings tab and click into the Audience section. We should have already changed the audience settings to Authenticated Access using Auth0, but we'll still need to enable adaptive content at the bottom of this section. After we enabled adaptive content, we'll need to set up a visitor schema. A visitor schema is a map of the data we can expect to receive from the users visiting our site. Visitor schemas are required in order for GitBook sites to stay performant and help with things like autocomplete when setting your adaptive conditions. Because we're adding the claim called isEnterprise to our user, we'll need to configure our visitor schema to accept this value. To do this, our visitor schema will look like this. After pasting in our schema, we'll click Save. Now that we have our visitor schema set up, we're ready to personalize our content based on this data. For enterprise users, we'll want to make sure they have access to an enterprise site section. Still in our site settings, head to the Structure tab. If you haven't already, add a new section for the content you'd like to use for enterprise users. I've already got this section set up. To customize who has access to it, head to its actions by clicking the 3 dots next to the section. From here, we're going to change the site audience to conditional. This will allow us to define a condition that must be passed in order for the page to be accessible. Because logged-in users will have the extra claim isEnterprise attached to them, all we need to do in the condition editor is add the condition visitor.claims.isEnterprise equals true. This means this section will only be accessible to logged-in users who have the claim isEnterprise. After we click Save, we're ready to check to make sure the configuration we've set up is working correctly. Still in our site settings, head to the Preview tab to launch the default experience. By default, we shouldn't be able to see our enterprise section, but we can create a new segment, a mock group of users that we can set claims on to test to make sure our conditional edits are working as expected. In the Preview window at the top, click the drop-down that says Default Experience. Clicking New Segment will allow us to name our segment and add claims to it. We'll call this one Enterprise Users and add this claim. After clicking Save, toggling between the views will let us know the condition is working, depending on if the user has the right claims when visiting the site. When choosing the Enterprise User segment, our site section should appear as expected. Adaptive content allows you to customize many things across your site sections, pages, and even content inside of a space by using variables or the if condition block. We can also customize the header links we see across the site. Because our enterprise users should have direct access to a dedicated support team, we're going to add a link in our docs that only logged-in enterprise users can see. From our Settings page, head to the Customization tab and then into the Layout tab. After we've added a link for contacting our support team, we can add the same condition for its visibility. Click the 3 dots next to your header link and change the site audience to Conditional. From here, we'll add the same condition as before, visitor.claims.isEnterprise equals true. Heading back to the Preview tab, switching between the 2 segments in the top should verify that the support link only shows for our enterprise users. And that's it! With just a bit of config and a visitor schema, you can personalize the experience of your docs in powerful ways. Whether it's dedicated information for enterprise users, testing new onboarding flows, or regional content variations, adaptive content makes it easy to tailor your docs to whoever's reading them.